So I do remember someone um asking me, I don't remember his name, but he has like a blonde hair icon, and hi requested to do Mars in Cancer in the ninth house. And I remember that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I said that I would. So basically, Mars in Cancer, this is something that my girlfriend has, though it's in the 12th house. So I'm learning about it. Um, the way that you take actions is through an incredibly emotional intellect. You go through that space before you take actions. It's like you have an emotional intelligence about things, and before you're going to go and rush into something, you're able to feel into your intuition and think about it, and you like to plan um, and organize things before you fully do them. And it can take you some time to really get through the things that you're trying to get done. Um, you could make other people angry when it comes to the amount of motivational energy that you have, and maybe you want to do things in your own way, catering to kind of your own emotional needs, and other people need it to be done at a different pace than you do, and have different emotional concerns than you. That could create conflict in your life. And that's something that happens a lot, and then you tend to kind of just shut down when you're upset. Cancer Mars is someone that they can totally crush you emotionally, and that's how they win a battle, and they can leave you feeling really broken and dejected. Um, but that's only if you really hurt them or really break their boundaries, and they don't trust you, or you do something really disrespectful, or you continually cross a line that's been established. Like, when a Cancer hurts you, it's because you hurt them. Um, and people need to start taking responsibility for how they treat other people instead of always picturing Cancer as the victim, because Cancer will only retaliate when it feels like it's been attacked, and it doesn't. Yes, Cancer can be sensitive, but if you did something to really piss off a Cancer, you probably acted really insensitively and rude. And anyways, Cancer Mars will let you know about that. But typically what they'll try to do first is just completely shut down and calm down and get to a place where they can like digest and handle the information, and then they will be able to talk to you about it and take a direct action, because Cancer is very direct. It's a cardinal sign. So Cancer Mars isn't one that wants to play games. They just need time. And if you push them on a lot of things, or try to rush them on stuff, they're going to get really upset. And that's just not really how to deal with it. You need to learn how to be patient with these people, because it's a respect issue. And it's important to respect it. So it's a very serious placement. It's not easy if you have this. It's definitely a difficult place for Mars to be. It can be quite challenging at times because you feel like a lot of your energy is just being poured into all these emotional facets of your life, and it can be difficult to get them to go elsewhere. But like I said, Cancer is very direct and able to move things around, so it just takes time. This is just a more patient place for Mars to be. It's like Mars and Taurus. It's a little bit happier there, but not so much. It's the same kind of pace that it's not really that into. I personally don't think Mars in Capricorn is that very easy either, but at least it has like a drive and an ambition part of it that makes it keep going, even though it's probably going to get exhausted. But I'm getting off topic. So in the ninth house, which is all about like philosophy and travel and higher wisdom and stuff, When you have Cancer and Mars here, your emotional intelligence, that's the first thing I said. That's what drew me into this energy. That really is a big deal for you. And studying, and following other people that are like passionate teachers and that are maybe really emotional in their speech or that have philosophies that affect you on a really soul-based level, that's going to get you to motivate. That's going to get you to act and think and start a conversation and start learning. Because Cancer, what's nice about this being in the ninth house is that Cancer really loves to accumulate knowledge and kind of store it in their brains. Like they are a tiny little crab gathering books and putting them in a library in their head. And when that gets full, they'll shed and grow and bring all of it with them and just keep building a storehouse of power in within their minds. And that's how they can be this manipulative energy. It's, yes, water is emotions, but there's this element of Cancer that is very like brain psychic based because the water and the moon affects our electromagnetism and everything like that. So it has a very physical component and a very mental component to it. At the same time, which I don't think is talked about that often, but that being in the ninth house is just really cool. You're probably going to be someone that's really smart and has a lot of energy to learn about stuff. And you might really be into academic things or going to school. Like you wouldn't mind getting up out of bed in the morning because Mars is what motivates you, right? It's what makes you want to take action. So also like therapy and like emotional healing, is what I'm getting from this combination, because you're going to know how to help people and you're going to love to think about how you can be nurturing and how to take care of other people. And you come at it from a very psychological perspective. So you think that's very fascinating. So you can be someone that is very active and driven and you know, really headstrong about helping people in a crisis situation. You know how to handle yourself. You can get in there, you can calm someone down. You're in your element and it's very fascinating for you and you can be there to help somebody. You are someone that believes that doing good things for other people and helping others is one of the most satisfying actions that you can take. So if you find the opportunity to really help someone out, by just speaking your mind or sharing your own wisdom and knowledge and knowing that that's going to give them emotional comfort, like you're going to do that anytime that you get a chance to. So in that sense, you're a really beautiful person and a really good friend to a lot of people, and would be a really good therapist or a social worker because you have the capacity to deal with that. And Cancer, Mars can be really sensitive to other people, but in the ninth house, you're kind of detached from all that and you move a bit above that. And it's almost as if you now have the space to handle everyone else's emotions because then your Mars is activating and you've got the pace going that you want to go without it overwhelming you and you're in your flow. And that's when it's going to feel really good to you. Also, you probably just love the idea of taking care of people, and it makes you feel really good when you're able to achieve that on a consistent basis. So something that I would suggest for this placement is to get pets or have children and have people that you can teach and that will study from you and that you can care for and nurture, and then you will constantly be feeling pretty good. Mars in our chart, in my opinion, is where we can experience a lot of depression. Because if you're not feeling energized and active and good in your body and driven and passionate, you're probably depressed. So obviously we go through waves every day emotionally, but if you find yourself consistently being in a place of depression, really look where your Mars is in your chart. And in this case, that's where it is. So you should be having like intellectual conversations with people. You could do charity work. You could do volunteer work. You know, Cancer Mars wants to feel needed. And in other houses, it might take a more physicalized element to it. But in the ninth house, it's really very conceptual. So this is someone that really is into those psychological elements, like I already said, and the Cancer Mars can read people like a book. They know also how to act and navigate social situations based off of their gut intuition and feeling. Plus, that's just heightened by the ninth house, and you can just seriously survey your entire environment and feel who you need to be talking to, how you need to talk to them, and you're just kind of manipulating the energies of the whole room. Even way more than a Cancer Sun, to be honest, because Cancer Suns, for the most part, aren't doing it on purpose, even if they are conscious of it. Cancer Mars is doing it on purpose, and it's being a Cancer in action. And it's a much different kind of Cancerian energy than the Cancer Sun, which is what most people would think of. Cancer has a difficult time in the sun as well. I think that its energy is, for the most part, misunderstood. But anyway, yeah. Cancer Mars is someone that's going to be pretty straightforward with you. They're going to set really clear boundaries with you. And in the ninth house, it's changed a little bit because, yes, they're going to be really direct and clear, but they might also speak on a level that might go over your head at certain times. And then it can seem like they're not having the correct motivations. But really, they just need to learn how to speak on other people's level while incorporating their own influence into it. And then, what was the second thing that I said? Oh, they'll be really clear about boundaries. Again, in the ninth house, yes, although they might conceive that it's already been done, or they might have a perception that you already know what's going on. So my advice for Cancer Mars is that if you feel like you haven't been really clear about your boundaries, it can never hurt to clarify them with someone or strengthen them with people or have an open conversation, because there's nothing worse than creating a boundary in your mind and then someone crosses it and you get really upset with them and they'll take it so personally and think that there's something wrong with them when they really didn't know. Plus, then you don't really know their character. But if you very clearly explain a boundary to someone and then they cross it, then you have the ability to step back and withdraw and cut people out if you need to, because Cancer Mars can cut people out like nobody's business. And in the ninth house, like, you don't even need to think about it. Like, it's just over it, expanded. So, you know, you can end up losing a lot of people like this, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But sometimes people don't understand your boundaries to the T, and they're really trying hard. I feel like I'm projecting a little bit on this, but the more direct you can be with that, the better. It's a little bit harder when it's in the ninth house, just because the Jupiter and Sag energy is just kind of like all over the place. Okay, yeah, I've talked for like 13 minutes, so I'm going to end this video. I hope that you guys learned something about Cancer and Mars and the ninth house and all that together, something like that. If you're interested in birth charts, monthly forecasts, compatibility readings, or animal care service, or poetry, then please check out my website. I have a lot of stuff that I'm pushing there, and I'm creating it and all that. It's still a work in progress. So this is all my creative energy lately. I prefer making videos to like drawing or stuff like that. So, thank you for watching. Peace.